Welcome to another episode of Fantasy News. I'm Murphy, your host for this week, as Daniel is attempting to swim across the Pacific Ocean. He should be back in the next couple of days to post a book review, and then after a video or two, he'll have to swim back to the other side of the Pacific, so someone else will probably be here. But I'm here now, and to start the news, we have a lot of really pretty cover reveals, starting with House of Open Wounds by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is a follow-up novel to City of Last Chances. It's following one of the main characters from that novel and will be a sequel, but can also be treated as a standalone. So, a companion, I think? Either way, I'm gonna read it. I read City of Last Chances and it was very good, and I didn't think we were gonna get a sequel to it. So companion, sequel, standalone, I'm thrilled to get more from this city. If you haven't read it, you really should. It's really good. This is coming December 7th of 2023. This year. That's wild. Next, we have The Passing of the Dragon, which is a new short story by Ken Liu, another one of my favorite authors. He wrote The Dandelion Dynasty. These books are quite large. These are just the first two. The second two are both upstairs, but they're even larger than these. So if you've been interested in checking out Ken Liu's work, but The Dandelion Dynasty is intimidating to you, he is an award-winning short story writer, and I started out with his short stories and knew that I could trust him with an epic fantasy. So I haven't read this. I'm going to. I do recommend him as an author. This follows a woman who fears she's failing as a painter and as an artist, and seeks inspiration from one of her favorite poets, and finds something even more wondrous, but also more impossible to capture on canvas. This short story is already out and free to read right now on Tor.com. Next up is Sista Samurai by Tatiana Obey. The short pitch for this is Afro Samurai meets the Sword of Kaigen in this anime-inspired novella. Gorgeous cover. I love samurai stories, and I loved The Sword of Kaigen. I'm gonna read this too. This will be released November 1st of this year, 2023. And finally, we have The Chaos Storm Chronicles by Ashton Gaskill. When magic school dropout Etsy runs away to work as a cartographer at the edges of reality, will she return with maps to sell, or will the dangers of living on the world's edge be a stark awakening? This will be released on September 18th of 2023, and it looks like it's gonna be available on Kindle Unlimited if you use that. Editing Murphy here in the trees to let you know that we have more. We have more books before we move on from this section of the video. So we have The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons. This is pitched as Dragon Riders of Pern for a modern audience, and its release date is July 9th of 2024. And then we also have a Buffy the Vampire Slayer spin-off Audible exclusive series. So this is set in the Buffy universe. It follows Spike 20 years after the series concluded, and it is going to be narrated by the original cast. They are reprising their roles and playing these parts in this audiobooks. It's called Slayers, and it's released October 12th. So if you're a Buffy fan, check it out. Back to other Murphy, who knows more things. I think we got some amazing covers this week, and they also sound like really awesome books, so let me know if you're gonna pick any of these up. My problem is that I wanna read everything, and no one has invented time travel yet. Our next news is further information on the issue with Amazon and AI books, but before we dive into that, I wanna give a shout out to today's sponsor, Wrathmarked.
Thanking our sponsors with Bob and the Goblin. Yeah!
And we have some big, exciting news from today's sponsor, my publisher, Wrathmarked Creative. They have just announced a brand new Kickstarter for a special hardcover edition of Paths of Sona by New York Times and USA Today bestselling author Richard A. Nack. For anyone who doesn't already know, Paths of Sona is the epic tie-in novel to Squidmar Miniatures' Sonaverse, or Sona Universe if you're less cool. The base book will be hand-signed by Richard A. Nack and includes a full wrap dust jacket, a foil-stamped case, and at least one custom illustrated in-sheet by Suthiwat Suthiwat. As a dyslexic, I'm proud I got as close as I did. The book's interior features high-end offset printing, Smithsonian binding, acid-free paper, and a custom interior design with embellished chapter headings by STK Creations. With 2 stretch goals already having been funded, and it looks like a third on the way. And while this campaign is going on, it's a great opportunity to pick up any past Wrathmarked creative projects you might have missed out on, like the Legends and Lattes they just launched as well, or, I'm not biased at all, but Neon Ghost of Witch's Sin, which happens to be right there on the shelf and written by yours truly. There are only a few days left to get your hands on this specialty hardcover, so be sure to check out the link in the description and head on over there today to back the Wrathmarked Creative Paths of Sona Kickstarter.
So Amazon and AI books. Daniel has already reported on this twice, but we have had some progress on it, albeit little bit of progress. The Guardian reported that Amazon has added a new section to its content guidelines focused on AI. And it basically boils down to Amazon is now requiring people to disclose when the book that they're trying to publish through Kindle Direct Publishing is AI generated, but not AI assisted. The distinction there being that AI generated content is defined by the company as text, images, or translations created by an AI tool, even if substantial edits are made afterwards, and AI-assisted content is classified as that created by authors and sellers themselves, but where AI tools are used to edit, refine, error check, or otherwise improve. The guidelines state that sellers are responsible for identifying if something is AI generated, so it's kind of like an honor system that they're implementing in their guidelines. So cool that it's being addressed, but also, is this actually gonna help in the ways that authors are really getting hit, which, as Daniel has addressed in previous episodes, people uploading fake books under real authors' names to monetize off of their audiences, pretending to be them. Now that they've created this new guideline, are those people going to stop and start being honest? No, probably not. So Amazon still has a lot of work to do to address the actual issues. This seems like a band-aid and one that will, not work. Hopefully authors and their readers alike will continue to be vocal about how this is affecting authors and not just an oversaturation of the market, so that that side of it can be addressed too. Next news is Berserk related.
No, wait, Murph, sorry. Contractually, I have to cover any and all Berserk news and fantasy news, always.
What, aren't you supposed to be swimming right now? And what contract?
Yeah, the contract I made with the devil woman that came out of the troll entrails.
The what now?
The devil woman that came out of the troll entrails. Don't worry about it, but yes, contractually I have to cover any and all Berserk news, so let's go ahead and get on into it. In all seriousness though, I wouldn't miss covering this for the world because we are finally getting our first new arc in the manga Berserk in over a decade. And notably, of course, this is the first new arc since Kentaro Mura's passing in May of 2021. Now being helmed by Kentaro Mura's close friend Koji Mori, this new arc of Berserk will start September 22nd with the release of chapter 374. Of course, Koji Mori's work is still based on notes left by Kentaro Mura, as well as things Kentaro told Mori before his passing. I'm incredibly excited about this, not only because is it the first new arc I get to experience as a Berserk fan, but I think what we've seen from Koji Mori and company has been really impressive so far, and they seem to be handling Kentaro Mura's series with the utmost care. This isn't the only exciting news Berserk fans have gotten recently though, because we have also learned that the next volume, 42 of Berserk, is going to be released in Japan September 29th of this year, only a few days after the new chapter. And for us here in North America, Dark Horse is going to be publishing Deluxe Edition Volume 14 November 21st, so it seems like the end of 2023 is going to be a little bit of a Berserk-assance. Yeah, I regret saying that too. Back to you, Murph.
I don't think he's actually swimming across the Pacific Ocean. Anyway, next news is adaptation related. One Piece live action, which has reportedly pulled in 37.8 million views in less than 2 weeks, has gotten a lot of mixed reviews from fans. Some people think that this has broken the curse of live actions. Some feel that it is just another Cowboy Bebop, and then we have all reactions in between. I personally really enjoyed the live action for what it was. It was very different from the source material, but I still had a lot of fun talking about it, comparing it to the manga and seeing what they changed and added, and it was a good time. to be a fan, chatting with fans about a story I love, even if it was its own separate version of that story. That scripts for a possible season 2 are completed, and the next season should be ready to air in a year once production is able to begin. Now, they did say that's if they move very quickly, so it could be a year to 18 months, but either way, they have the scripts done, they're ready to go. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have the green light. We still don't have confirmation that they're getting a season 2. Sorry, I have to interrupt myself again because just now, we got an announcement for season 2 of the live action. Oda himself gave the announcement through a snail phone. I'm so excited. Is it as good as the manga? No, of course not, but I had so much fun watching this live action, and I've been anxiously awaiting to see if we would get an announcement for season 2. And not only do we have an announcement, but it's on the week that I get to do fantasy news. This is the best thing. This is amazing. I'm so excited. Sound off in the comments if you are too. As I said earlier in this video, they have to wait until the strike ends to be able to start filming, but once they do, they think that they can make it move pretty quickly as the script is already written, so that's really exciting. I'm excited to see what they do with Chopper. I can't wait to see who they cast for Vivi, and I'm very curious, seeing as how they had to condense and cut down on so much of the epic battles in season 1. I'm so curious to see how they'll handle the end of season 2, but we are officially getting a season 2. Back to you, Murphy. But what do you think? If you watched it as a fan or as someone who is not familiar with the source material, did you like it? Would you like another season of it? In more adaptation news, the anime for Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, part 2 in parentheses, is set to release on November 4th. I didn't find a trailer for it, so I don't think there is one yet, but what I did find is a bunch of people memeing over the multiple parts in the title, and I believe that that is truly what the internet is for. That's it for today's fantasy news. I hope you found one of these newses interesting. Be sure to subscribe to Daniel's channel if you haven't already. Check out his book, Neon Ghost. If you haven't bought it yet, what are you doing? And Daniel will see you again soon. Bye.